What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I got another great video for you guys today. So today we're going to be mixing cymbals. And we're going to be showing you guys how to actually make your cymbals nice and bright and pop through the mix by using 3 plugins. I know this series we're in is using 4 plugins, but you know what? Today we're going to be using 3. So let's jump right into Logic and get to mixing some cymbals. Here we go. Alright guys, what we're going to do now is jump into Logic Pro X. And what we're going to do is right here we have our crash cymbal. So I'm going to be using the 3 plugins that I told you about to mix this crash cymbal. So the first thing what we're going to do is start with the EQ. So like we always do is we're going to use the stock EQ that comes with Logic. So we're going to open that here. And what I want to do, and since a crash cymbal is a high mid frequency, what we can pretty much do is roll off a high pass filter pretty high up, because the crash cymbal is all the way up in the high mids. So really what we can do is roll the high pass filter up, and what that will allow us to do is make room to clean it up for our kick drum and for our bass guitar. It will clean it up and get rid of all of that down there and give it more room for the kick and bass. So let's jump into that right now. Here we go. Okay, so I rolled that high pass filter all the way up to about 460 hertz. So pretty much what that is allowing me to do is just make room for the kick drum and the bass guitar down there, because we don't need that, and since the crash cymbal is all the way up in the highs. Okay? So pretty much what we're going to do now is move on to the next frequency. Let's do it. Okay guys, what we're going to do now on the crash cymbals is we're going to talk about the frequency that I've talked about many times on drums, and it's the frequency, you guys know what I'm talking about, the 500 hertz range. Now guys, we need to cut that out, because right in that frequency of the 500 hertz range is where the cymbals sound chunky. And we don't want chunky cymbals, we want bright, shiny cymbals. So what we're going to do is dive into 500 hertz and see what we can get rid of. Let's do it. Alright, as soon as I boosted that frequency around 560 hertz, I heard it right away. The chunkiness, the clunkiness of it, and it just sounds awful. So we're going to cut that out about 6 dB. Let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just even that sound out so that we have a nice even sound. Okay, and that sounds better to me. We got rid of the chunkiness, we got rid of all that click and everything. That just does not sound good. So what we're going to do now is move on to the high mids so that we can brighten this cymbal up and make it more shiny in the mix. Okay, let's move into it. Okay guys, the next frequency we're going to focus on is, you know how you hit a crash cymbal and it rings out? Well, I want that sound to come through the mix. So we're going to look around 2K to 6K, because that's where that sound lies, because I want my cymbals to ring out and sound great. So let's look around there and see what we can find. Okay, so I found the frequency. It is 21 to 20,000 hertz. That's where the cymbals are. Once you hit the cymbal, it's ringing out and it's sounding great. So we're going to bring that down to about 3 dB. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is just even it out. All right, guys, there we go. That sounds great to me. Once you hit that cymbal, you can just hear the splash, the shine, just punch right through and ring out. And that's the sound I'm looking for this song. What we're going to do now is move on to the next frequency, and then we'll move on to the next plugin. Here we go. Okay, guys, the next thing we're going to do is I want to give the cymbals some shine and some sparkle to them. So what we're going to do is actually go into the EQ and add a high shelf. And that's going to give the cymbals some shine and some sparkle. So let's get to it. Okay, guys, so I'm hearing the sparkle come through. I'm hearing the shine, and it sounds great. So I boosted that high shelf about 56,000 hertz, and it sounds great to me. So try these frequencies out for yourselves, guys, and let me know in the comments down below how they worked for you guys, okay? Let's move on to the next plugin. Here we go. Okay, guys, so here we are with our compressor. Now, what I'm going to be doing is just evening out the sounds, the cymbals, just to make each hit that we hear more even so that they're all at the same volume, okay? So let's jump right into this compressor and see what we can do, and then I'll explain after what I did. So the first thing I want to do is turn off the auto gain and everything so we can do. And like I said in the last video, what I like to do is use the graph instead of the meter, because you can actually see the peaks of the sound wave as you're compressing. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I only used a little bit of compression. I didn't need that much. And what the compressor actually did is it smoothed the cymbals out a lot. So now what I'm hearing is the cymbals are actually ringing out even more. That's what the compressor allowed to happen. It's just smoothed the cymbals out and it made them ring out even more so that they last longer. That's really the sound I'm looking for. So the last thing we're going to do is move on to some tape saturation. Let's jump into it. Here we go. Okay, guys, so here we are with our tape saturation plugin. So what we're going to do is just allow the tape saturation, to give it some character to the cymbals. And also, we're just going to allow it to pop through the mix more. So let's take a listen, play around with it, and see what we can get out of the sound. Here we go. Okay, so what I'm hearing is it popping through the mix more. It's a lot louder, and I cleaned it up even more. So pretty much on the drive, I only had to do about 1 dB. Then on the output, about 1 dB also. On the aux mix, about 6 dB. And then what I did actually is I put a high pass filter right on it, just to roll it off so that the highs can come through even more. So I hope you learned a lot about how to mix cymbals today just by using 3 plugins. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, make it turn gray, turn on post notifications so that you guys are notified whenever I post a new video on Golden Productions. Also guys, when this video is over, make sure you head over to my social medias. I'll leave them right here on the screen, guys, so you can see them. Also, I am on Instagram, Twitter, and SoundCloud. So make sure you head over there when this video is over. Follow me on there, because on all my social medias, I post all of my thumbnails and updates of what new videos are coming out so that you guys are notified. And make sure you have post notifications on, turn that bell on so that you guys are also notified whenever I have a new video coming out. Alright guys, I hope you learned a lot today about using EQ, compression, and tape saturation to mix a cymbal. And if you enjoyed that video today, make sure you give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button down below. I hope you learned a lot. Keep making great music, and I will see you guys in the next video. You guys are awesome.